My face hurts a little bit from all the smiling. Oh, I'll take it. Better than the opposite, I guess. Some of you might have heard me say this out loud before. Maybe not, but this is a common one that I've used a lot in my life. I was raised unchurched. I've said that to describe my childhood faith. I was raised unchurched. And usually this statement is followed by a little something about my first generation Italian-American father who was raised Roman Catholic, and my mother who was brought up Christian Scientist, and how upon leaving their home, this is the great mythos of my house, upon leaving their homes at 18, they vowed to never go back to church again. So funnily enough, it was my mother who only recently called me out, because my mom tends to do that. Maybe it's all moms. She called me out when she heard me say that I was raised unchurched. That's not true, Sophia. And then she reminded me of the countless weekends that I spent with my grandmother. This is her mother, the Christian Scientist, Grandma Nora. And the full month that I spent with her every summer, countless weekends, and the full month I spent with her every summer on the island of Coronado off the coast of San Diego. And that during every one of those visits, Grandma Nora and I went to church. And not just on Sundays, because Grandma Nora had the keys. Yeah. Some of you do too. So I know that you know what I mean when I say she had the keys. We were in and out of the First Church of Christ Scientist every day, dropping things off, picking things up, prepping for worship, cleaning up after worship, planting flowers, doing bookkeeping, taking out the trash. My grandmother was like the sexton, the worship, fellowship, finance, religious education committee, all in one human. The small churches are like this. There were like 20 members, so you got to wrap it all up into like one or maybe four. So my mom, in the same conversation that I had with her recently about being unchurched, said, "Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all that you became a minister. You love church." "Oh, you were churched, girl." That's what she said. Okay, Cass. But this begs the question, what is it to be churched? For myself, I never owned or read a Bible, nor did I have Christian Scientist's key to the scriptures. I honestly only remember one, maybe two Sunday school classes, so clearly nothing much stuck there. I don't remember one hymn, and I'm kind of glad Charlene isn't here because I feel bad saying it. I don't remember any of the music. But here's what I do remember vividly. The smell and feel of that sanctuary and how much I loved being there when no one else was. Off hours, you know? The stone walls, the creaky wood floors and pews, I can still smell it now when I close my eyes. Standing at that strange, weird, old carved thing that they call the pulpit. Yeah. I loved the hymn board. Obsessed with the hymn board. You know that thing that used to... And I knew where the old scratched up wooden box of numbers was, hidden under the chancel, and Grandma Nora would let me take them out and hoist me up and put the hymn numbers. I know, yeah. And my most loved memory I got the job of sitting in the reading room, that's a very important room to Christian Scientists, with a big stack of science and health study books. These are the sacred texts Christian Scientists look to. And my job was to wipe away with a little cloth the blue chalk markings on the page. So this is a big part of their practice, taking notes and making annotations and marking key pages with these little pieces of blue chalk that can be wiped away after they gather, right? My hands would be covered in blue. I loved it, loved this, right? I didn't know what any of this meant, why they did this, what they were studying. It didn't interest me. What makes me churched has nothing to do with adhering to that doctrine, and everything to do with feeling so incredibly at home there. My grandma and I, with master keys, doing the most important work of the church. Clearly had an impact. That is what makes me churched. It had an impact. Today we spoke beautiful words to our young ones, and we made promises to them. I gave them a little UU baptism. And most of us will deem these words and promises and rituals successful if they stay in our midst and learn all the wonderful UU things and partake in more rituals and rites of passages and go out into the world with UU identities that have been nurtured and formed here in this church. And this is a wonderful aspiration. It should be our hope and dream as a religious community. And there are so many ways to be shaped and formed. There are so many ways to be churched and feel at home and have our flames tended to. It might be the programming. It might be that ritual. It might also be being asked to light a chalice. Yes, that could change the course of one of their lives. Take that in. It could. Or the soft, fluffy carpet at the front of the sanctuary that one day maybe they will still smell in their memory that they laid on during worship. That might be the thing. It might be your love and patience when they just can't keep it together. That could be more powerful than anything else we do or offer here. Tending their flame really does come in so many forms. And this is all church. It's all church. One does not have more value than the other. No. And we cannot possibly know what they will do with any of this. Isn't that wonderful? We get to wait and see. Some of us will never know, but we get to put our faith in something grabbing them in some way. And this isn't to devalue religious exploration for young ones and all the wonderful work that we do that is very intentional about that. This is about each of us taking responsibility for making this church a home for our young ones and our youth. And I know this is all you want. I know that about you, that our young ones feel at home here, that all of you pray this. I know that about you. What I so love about Robert Fulgham's passage, from all I really need to know I learned in kindergarten, is that it reminds me about wisdom coming from those unexpected places, right? Like that sand pile at Sunday school, or from wiping blue chalk notes out of a Christian Science text. How unexpected. It teaches us that not one piece of church life is insignificant. Not one exchange is small. And it reminds me that we cannot possibly know what will shape or move or grip our young ones or anyone, all ages. So the prayer I pray for myself and all of us is that we slow down and be present and be patient and handle all that we do here, every interaction with care. With care. It matters. It's shaping them. We might not realize that. Take care in the sand pile. I guess that would be I think it's a better sermon title. Take care in the sand pile. The roots go down in that styrofoam cup, right? You all used to get those? The roots go down and the plant goes up and nobody really knows how or why, but we are all like that. And so that is my closing prayer and message for you today, to take care in the sand pile, for the unexpected is in our midst. And I say to that, amen, and may it be so.